Hi everyone! Today I'm going to turn this doll into this cool demon. This devil doll is actually the chase in the 10,000 Escape Plans BJD blind box series. In my honest BJD reviews, linked in the video description below, I showed you a bunch of quality problems with this series. But I decided that these dolls would be a great practice for customizing, so I was determined to give them all makeovers and turn them into dolls that I really love. I wasn't too happy with their original faces, so I redesigned all of the previous dolls that I unboxed. I already repainted my purple gamer cat, the snow leopard, I even dyed the snow leopard doll a darker skin color, and the angel. You can watch those process tutorials in my BJD Makeovers playlist linked below. By the way, I got all of these dolls from KikaGoods.com. You can get 10% off your purchase at Kika Goods with my exclusive promo code. If you're enjoying my BJD doll tutorials and reviews, remember to hit like and subscribe. My channel is still pretty new, so I would also appreciate any feedback. I thought that this doll's skin color looked a bit chalky, so I used a hot pink pastel to give her a more saturated and cooler red tone. I'm scraping it into a powder with a craft knife so that I can brush it onto the body. I'm only going to do the right side of the body first so you can see the difference that it makes. You can see that the right side is more saturated and pink than the left side. Okay, now to finish the rest of the body and head, I sealed the body with a matte finishing spray and then a light coat of gloss to give it a semi-gloss look. For the head, I just used a matte spray. The angel doll that I redesigned in my previous BJD makeover video also has white hair, so I decided to give this demon girl a different hair color. I mixed a grayish blue color using acrylic paint. Then I added a darker blue gradient at the ends of the hair pieces. I used several layers of chalk pastel to achieve a smooth gradient. Here's the final result. Okay, now let's move on. This doll did not come with eyes, so I made my own. I have a separate tutorial for how to make these BJD doll eyes, linked below. Before I start drawing on the face, I always attach the eyes to help me get the proportions right. Using a dark purple watercolor pencil, I start drawing the eyeliner. I started with a light sketch to get the overall shape first, and gradually layered the pencil to make it darker. I sharpened my pencil a couple of times while drawing the eyeliner. If you sharpen using a knife, you can get a sharper point than any pencil sharpener, and you don't wear down your pencils as fast. Art supplies can get expensive, so I try to save them as much as possible. Finishing up the bottom eyeliner with my sharpened pencil. So here's how it looks so far. Now I'm going to start drawing the mouth. This is just a sketch because I'll go over the mouth with paint later. I attach the hair for this step to make sure all the proportions look right. Penciling in the eyelid line. Now is a good time to seal my progress with some matte finishing spray, so I'm removing the eyes before spraying the face. While I was waiting for the finishing spray to dry, I can prep my blush and eyeshadow palette. This is my first time painting a doll with red skin, and I wasn't sure which colors would work, so I prepared a variety of colors in my palette. I have several dark pinks and reds for blush, and dark blues and purples for her eyeshadow. I mixed a dark pink color for her blush, but it wasn't showing up very well, so I decided to correct this later and move on to her eyeshadow. The purple pastel that I initially used for her eyeshadow looked a bit too chalky, so I decided to go over it with a very light layer of pencil. I'm shading from the top of her eyelid all the way around to the bottom of her eye. This is giving her a smoky eye makeup look. To create depth in the eyeliner, I'm using just a little bit of black pencil just in the center and right above the eye openings. By the way, you can find all of my tools in my BJD supplies list linked in the video description below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Here's where I'm trying to correct the blush. Since the pink pastel wasn't showing up, I used a dark pink watercolor pencil to lightly sketch the blush on her face. I built up more dark pink color near the bottom of her eyes to make it part of her smoky eyeshadow. I used dark red to shade around the top inner corner of the eyes to give more depth to that area. The color of her eyeshadow and eyeliner were looking a bit too close because I used the same watercolor pencil for both of those areas, so I used blue and light purple to make the eyeshadow a lighter and cooler purple. Now there's more color contrast between the eyeshadow and eyeliner. I'm using pale pink on the eyelid to make it pop out more. You can see the difference between the right eyelid that I just did versus the left eye. I use thin layers of white paint to lighten this area. This will make the eyes look more open and brighter. I actually wanted the eyelids to be a little bit brighter, so I painted a thin layer of hot pink on top. I think that made a difference. Now I'll finish the mouth. I darkened the outlines that I drew before, used acrylic paint to fill in the lips, teeth, and her tongue. Then I used a dark red pencil to add shading below and above her lips. Now for my favorite part, the eyelashes and tiny eye details. First, I sketched some of the details and eyelashes with a pale purple and white pencil. Then I start going over the pencil with white acrylic paint. Her makeup is really coming together now. Adding some white pencil in these corners to brighten her eyes more. I used pale purple to add some lines along the bottom of her eye. This kind of gives her bags, which actually matches her goth look. I used a dot stylus tool dipped in paint to make these highlights at the top of her eye. I drew an upside down cross underneath one eye. I attached her hair for this step to make sure her bangs didn't cover up the cross. Now I'm drawing the bottom eyelashes. I used dark purple before, so now I'm going to darken the bottom lashes even more with some black. You've seen me use this double-ended ball stylus tool to make tiny dots. There's a different ball size on each end, and I dipped in paint to make the highlights. But this doll is pretty small, so I needed an even tinier tool. I have this needlepoint sculpting tool that I used to make these needlepoint highlights. You can also use anything with a really tiny point, like a pin or a needle. I'm going back to the ball stylus tool to make these little pink highlights on her cheeks. I used a black watercolor pencil to make this little beauty mark next to her mouth. Now for the finishing touches on her face. I brushed a clear gloss coat on her lips and eyeliner. I wanted her lips to look really plump and juicy, so I used a thick coat of gloss on her lips, and the gloss coating actually makes the colors of her dark purple eyeliner look even deeper. I have this shimmery iridescent blue glitter that I wanted to use on this doll's makeup and hair. Since this doll has molded plastic hair, you can do really cool things like adding glitter and charms. I mixed the iridescent glitter with my clear liquid gloss to apply it on the hair. The angel doll that I made has iridescent pink highlights in her hair and makeup, and I wanted to do something similar for this devil doll using a different color. If you remember from my unboxing video, this doll has super cool accessories like the skeleton hand belt. They are originally really flat white, so I gave them some more dimension on the knuckles using a pinkish purple pastel. Then I went over it with the iridescent blue micro glitter. I did the same thing to the little rib cage on her headband. I added some shading just on the spinal part and added blue iridescent glitter all over it. I added a heavy coating of the iridescent glitter on her horns. As you can see, adding glitter on a black or dark surface makes the iridescent effect stand out a lot. I brushed a thin layer of glitter all over her eyeshadow and a smaller amount on her cheeks as highlights. Now that we're done with the face, let's add the eyes. Here's the finished face. Doesn't she look so pretty? I wanted to show you without the hair first so you can see all of the details. The glitter came out really nice, and I actually love the mouth with her little tongue sticking out. Let's put together the doll. I'm adding sticky putty between her hair pieces so that they don't fall off, which is a common problem with this doll brand. Here she is, all put together. I love her so much. I glued some iridescent star confetti on her hair and her outfit to give her a little something extra. Here's a close-up of her headband. I love how shimmery her horns came out. You can also see the subtle iridescent blue glitter on her hair. what do you guys think of my doll makeover? I think I have a problem because every time I make a new doll, it becomes my new favorite. And now I can't decide which one I like better, the angel or the devil. They're both really pretty, so what do you guys think? Are you more like the devil or the angel? I tend to switch it up depending on my mood and the day. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I have some more BJD dolls to unbox and customize, so keep an eye out for those videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time!